traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Ẹ̀sọ́ traditional wedding ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ ni lọ́gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ́ traditional every Tuesday on Instagram, every Tuesday on Facebook, 6 p.m. UK time, every Tuesday on Facebook. Traditional weddings. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí, ẹ̀yin tèmi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi. Mo kára lé, mo kérò ọ̀nà, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kọ́mọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Lórí ètò la wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Ètò wa, ètò yín, ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí ètò ìgbéyàwó. Let's talk traditional weddings and more with Wunmi Make the Royals. Kájúbọ̀ ọba Kọ́dáyé, ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run, ọba lánàá. Kábọ̀ tó ti jẹ́ kó ṣe ṣe fẹ́mi àti yín láti dé lẹ́mí láyé láàyè kò mọ yín. Father Lord, we give you praise, we give you honor, we give you adoration for spirit àdúrà ọlága ìjókòó MC olóòtú ti gbéyàwó event planner makeup artist with godly swagger. Adúpẹ́dúpẹ́ nítorí pé olúwa ìgbópẹ́ kẹgbà ni wa. Mo tún fẹ́ fàsìkò náà dúpẹ́ ló gbogbo àwọn ẹni bí ẹni èèyàn béèyàn àwọn tí wọ́n ṣàgbàtọ̀ rẹ̀ tó yí pàjùlọ iléeṣẹ́ chorus jésù àlẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ tuntun gbangba sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn nígbà tó taṣọ ìyàwó sí ìyàwó lẹ́fẹ́ ní contact them. Also appreciate the amazing e-magazine or paper magazine. Celebration International Magazine is hosted global in Nigeria. Anything you want, please contact First Rate Global. They even sell blocks and other building materials. Thank you so much for your support. The one and only amazing Royal Vogues. If you see this one, Royal Vogues, logo day, Royal Vogues, they specialize also in ready to wear, especially for plus sizes. Please contact Royal Vogues. They are on Instagram. We are everywhere. Thank you so much, everybody. Also, I want this opportunity to appreciate the amazing people that have joined me already tonight. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. Hey, Bumi Raymond, Shirley Girl One, thank you for joining me. Hi, BK Girl, thank you for joining me. Elu Yemi, Temitokpeko, Boss Lady Omoti, Gegen, thank you. Quick Fit NG, thank you so much for joining. As many that are still going to join us later, we appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Please, as I always say every week, help us to share. Help us to share. Today, people they are in Nigeria. They are at what's it called now? They are at it's Trophy of Grace. It's on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. It's Trophy of Grace. We appreciate you. If you're on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you are, please let us know you are there, and we'll be very happy to celebrate and to appreciate you. God bless you. Very, very important. Very, very important. And I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the amazing chairman. Is it Chivido? Hey, that's the wedding thing, David. It's a big deal, people, today. Congratulations to them on their wedding. In fact, everybody's in Nigeria. Everybody's in Nigeria at the moment, so I can understand. But please remind people that the show has started. But why we came here today, let's talk about what we come here to do today. And please, that does not stop us from sharing this. Please share. Let us remind people that the show has started. We are only here for 1 hour, so please tell people that the show has started. Hey, everybody's coming in. Please remind people that the show has started. Anyway, the show has started. Okay, let me bring in today's topic. It's very important. So important. Please, if you know any youth, any single potential bride be of marriageable age, it would be nice to call just going to get married. Young of whether they are marriageable age or not, whether they are near their marriageable age or not. Let's just invite people to this show for them to come and learn because the topic of today you will see when I bring it on. So hey. Mommy for you, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Marry me, oh baby. Baba me ready. Baba de wa fẹ́ I say I need you, girl. You say you need some time, but time no day, girl. Hey, hey, ọmọ bíi dákun ṣe tèmi jọ. I love you, baby, me go. Yeah. Please come be my wife. Oh yeah, DJ baby, oh yeah. Mommy me right here, marry me, oh baby. Baba me right here, you know I love you. I'm a gay wife, hey, oh shit. Mommy me right here, marry me, oh baby. Baba me right here, you know I love you. I'm a gay wife, Thank you so much. That's coming from the amazing Kunle Gold, Ade Kunle Gold. If we listen to the lyrics of that song, we will hear what the lyrics of the song is saying. The title of that song is actually Sade, and it's talking to her would-be wife. Then to say, please, my parents are expecting me to bring home a bride. My father, my mother, members of my family, they're expecting me to bring a bride home. Would you come with me? And the girl is saying, no, let me take my time and blah blah blah. Okay, don't let us say too much tonight. That's why I said this particular episode very useful to potential brides and grooms, those whether they are of marriageable age or not. They can always learn from this. And also, like I said last time when we were on this show, I said that this generation, this our generation, our yìí, àwọn Meluyemi and co, àwa yìí àti dé stage potential mother-in-law and fathers-in-law. We are getting to a stage where the next generation of bride's mom and groom's mom, whether we like it or not. Because once your child is over 18, once you have a child that's over 18 and they're yet to be married, our mommy is trophy of grace, our mommy courageous and laces. Some of them already been through it, they've been through it. Some of them are preparing, some of us are closer than others. So please, this episode is one of the most important episodes. Now, I want to talk about what do we call a deal breaker in meeting your children's spouse. Now, first of all, on this show, we talked about how what to expect. Yeah, what do you expect when you're meeting your would be, or should I say future daughters-in-laws and sons-in-law? For example, you're visiting me for the first time, you're planning to get married to my son or daughter. What are my expectations towards you? And if I'm visiting you and I'm interested, myself and your child or your daughter or your son, we are in a relationship. Hey, God's Studio, thank you for joining us. Mama, your daily goes. Hey, thank you for joining us. So what we're talking about is what is the expectation, or what are our expectations when you're meeting your potential son-in-law or daughter-in-law. And what are my expectations when I'm meeting my potential parents-in-law, mom-in-law or daddy-in-law, or even members of my would-be family, would-be in-laws? What are my expectations? What is it that they can do that can make me be like, yeah, this is a no-go area. Hey, yeah, mommy Adele has been to Chivido. We've been celebrating them here. So Mommy Adele, that is why Mommy Adele came late. She said she's been at Chivido's wedding. She was in Nigeria. I told you when people didn't come on time, I said, people are in Nigeria. They are at Chivido's wedding. We thank God for them. It's a great time. It's a great and awesome and congratulations to them. Okay, let's take it one after the other, people. Let's take it one after the other. Because I always love us to first of all establish some things. I want to find out from us first. Is it of any concern to parents? What I mean, would do parents have a say in their potential son-in-law or daughter-in-law? Do they have a say? Do they have a say? Let's first of all go there. As in, my son is about to get married, my daughter is about to get married. Do I actually have a say in that? Now wow, this lipstick just is clean my lips in here. So do I have a say? Let's talk about it, people. Let's first of all talk about it. Do I have a say in my potential son-in-law or daughter-in-law? My son brings somebody home. Do I actually have a say? Do I have any control? Can I complain about anything? Can I say anything about it? Or is yes, so his suffering of grace. Congratulations to them. So let's first of all start from there. I want to get married, and I'm bringing MC Mona, Fabulous Funky, Dappy Rufy. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Please keep reminding people that the show has started. Thank you so much. Mommy said, what do I mean? Okay. What I mean is, what we're talking about tonight is what to do or what never to do when you visit your potential in-laws, or what I should not do when my potential daughter-in-law or son-in-law is visiting me. We're talking about it from the perspective of the daughter and son-in-law, and also from the perspective of parents-in-law. Now, should that even be a concern? I first of all want to find out whatever they do or whatever they say when they come. Should be that I'm not the one marrying them now, and they're not the one I'm marrying. Bí àkọ́tí mò ń sọ yé wa wípé okay, ọmọ mi mú ọkọ wálé àbò mú ìyàwó, nǹkan tó ṣe àbí nǹkan tó ṣe yẹ kó kàn mí. Then èmi náà tí mo fẹ́ lọ kí àwọn òbí ọkọ mi, ṣé nǹkan táwọn òbí ọkọ mi ṣe yẹ kó kàn mí? Should it be of concern to me? Does it really matter? Let's first of all establish that. At least àwọn kan ni mo fẹ́, at least èmi kọ́ ló fẹ́ wá fẹ́. So that's what I'm saying. Let's first of all establish that. Should it be of concern? Do we now get the question? Mommy, I don't know, do you get the question, ma? So because I want us to first of all, because nowadays it's different from our own day. Do not disapprove without good reason. Okay, Mommy Tonya Shamu is a bit ahead of us. So obviously, Mommy is on the week, it's connected one way or the other. I cannot say Okukusi don't come. I cannot say that. Yeah, that's what we are saying. So that's what we are looking at. I cannot say, well, it's none of my business. Whatever your parents do is none of my business. You're the one I'm married. And also as a parent, that means I cannot say, well, it's none of my business. Is that what we are saying? Please, let's respond to that before we now start taking all these questions one after the other. Because I always like to establish and make sure that we understand the topic very well. So, in other words, what we are trying to say, if I get everybody right, is the fact that it's interwoven. There is no way my child will want to marry, and I will say, it's both of you that see each other. Whatever you see in each other, go and be like they will say, it means that it concerns me, kind of, and also as a potential son-in-law and daughter-in-law, what my parents-in-law, who they are and how they behave also does concern me. Is that what we are saying? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, sorrow. Mommy Tonya Shamu has got the grasp of this, and she's already a little bit ahead most of us. She's already ahead of us. So in other words, Joy down, please. People, say something. I want to hear. It's only mommy. I didn't ask mommy. Tonya Shamuda, I'm hearing. Mommy said, Mommy Ayedilogun says yes. Of course, it does concerns us. What a would-be son-in-law and daughter-in-law do and how they behave does concern us. Thank you so much, ma'am. And obviously, what a would-be mother-in-law or father-in-law would do would also concern us. Now, let's take it one after the other. Let me go from the question that I have here, because now the first question I ask here is there a particular way to behave when you meet your future in-law for the first time? Is there a particular way to behave when you meet your future or potential parents in-law? Let's start from the children now. When my child, is there a particular way that I'm supposed to behave when I say, Mommy, his trophy of grace said it is an encompassing matter. Hey, ẹjọ kí ni to me encompass ẹ borrow mi léèbó nítorí kò yé mi o. Please, this topic is so important to me. I don't know about anybody else. I know all the topics we discuss here are important, but this one is particularly so important to me. I just want to find out the way that a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law behave when they visit for the first time, especially, would they affect us? What's the implication of first impression? Somebody said yes, presentable and respectful. Thank you, Mide. Mommy Tonya Shamu said that the things that you should not do not disapprove without good reasons. Okay, before you even get to the place of disapproving, what can somebody is already calling us. Let's pick this call. Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you.
Amen. Okay, Mama, you're goose.
My fight for discussion might take me a long time. So won't explain around.
Thank you, ma'am.
You see, the topic of today is very really. You said, what do you expect from any what you expect to give?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is very in the sense that this is the one I want to marry. Sometimes you have occasions, you have outings. It's not just spring. I'm speaking from experience.
Okay.
It's not just spring in a cover from nowhere. This is the person I want to marry. So by the time you start seeing your child with a person constantly, you have an idea of what is going on. It will not be one or two things like is this good enough for my daughter or for my son? So yes, just a kind of background inspection. Our parents manage. So by the time you now officially introduces the person, it's no longer a surprise, and somehow our mommy, kind of you already have accepted and liked them. So it's no longer like it's no longer official like that.
Okay, ma. Oye mi ma. But nírú àwọn àyè tó jẹ́ wípé maybe they live in different places. For example, I live here, my parents live in Nigeria. They've never met this person before. They don't have the chance to even see us together. And they are meeting us. Maybe I decided to take the person home. Okay, for the first time, come and see my parents, or my parents come visiting. For that kind of situation, what about those kind of situations? What is this?
Even at that, you go to social media and all of that, you will somehow have found out a few things about the person and the person's personality. And in a situation, so far, I tell you, exam, relax. And the parents, relax, on edge. Even though what more hours we have to be on our best behavior. I will tell you one example of something silly. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sáàbù wa mo dẹ̀ jẹun ṣe láyọ̀ délé dìde sí ìpáàkì pléètì lọ sí kitchen. Nítorí pé mi ìfẹ́ come across bí ẹni pé mo bẹ tó ní pé mo ti gbọ́ rí pé ẹni tó bá bẹ ló ti máa wọ kitchen ló ti máa ṣe kinní kan.
You know.
Next time when I realized that was stupid, I should have actually taken my plate to the kitchen to work. But that does not mean that bí mo ṣe rí ìyẹn based on nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ tí mo ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu màmá mi rí wọn ọ̀fẹ́ kọ́ ọmọbìnrin bẹ kó ti wá kí wá lé kó ti máa bá àwọn wọ kitchen she never liked it. So ìyẹn ti wà ní subconscious so kò jẹ́ kémi náà ṣe. But that, having said that, a lè judge èèyàn first appearance. A lè judge èèyàn like somebody wrote there that you do not disapprove without any good reason. So I'm a for any time, maybe subsequent visit and subsequent feeling. That's for many so what you are. Then as a parent, we should not now be like high and mighty, Kamachegi, and so and panel of judges, so up and down. We should relax and give the person a chance to relax. That is when you can actually get the best out of the person.
Thank you, ma. I'm interested. What was the auntie-in-law's reaction after your? What did she do?
Auntie, what do I like me go? I like me go. What sorrow? I like because I'm stupid. But I stupid.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, ma.
Most stupid because I think my husband found the place with his cousins. One colossus tree.
And that was your first visit. That was your first visit.
That was my first visit.
And you know that some people will even say, you know some people will even say, at first visit don't eat. It was that bad at some point.
No, I don't
okay,
ma.
All
of that is pretense, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If you are hungry, eat. And you don't eat everything on the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, you don't assess people by all of those things. As for me, I won't assess you. Relationship is deeper than One of those things I don't think they really matter. I've heard this somewhere really, where somebody was saying, don't eat all the food, don't take it. Out of that,
Thank you so much, ma. I really appreciate it. Thank you, ma. God bless you, ma. Thank you, mommy. God bless you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Nice to have you on the show. God bless you, ma. Yes, I did láti bí táwọn èèyàn is trophy of grace. Money first impression is important. When I was asking whether it concerns us, what happened between those two that get married, she said it concerns us. So that's from YouTube. He said it's an encompassing matter. Now she said you already have an idea. If it's a first meeting, first impression counts. Be down to earth and not put others either on edge. Good behavior is good, but not to be pretentious. Thank you so much, ma. In other words, what that is saying is don't pretend, don't act, don't try to impress people. Now let me read comment from here before I go back to saying that Mama Odele Ogun said a lot of important messages here. For those of you that are just joining us, this is ETO IGBEYAWO season 21, episode 4. Now, the topic of today is how to behave when you're meeting your potential for the first time, and parents-in-law to children-in-law as well. How do you behave? Because it's not just about them. What's a deal breaker? What can you do as a parent that could be a deal breaker for your potential daughter or son? That's what we're talking about today. Or what can somebody do as a potential daughter or son-in-law for the first time that you're meeting them that will make you be like, do you understand? That's what we are talking about tonight. For those of you that are just joining us, people have been calling in. Remember that you can call us on +44 78285000938 to air your opinion. We just received a call from our beloved Mommy Ayodele Oguns, and a lot of nice points were made, which I'm still going to read. Then also, you can leave us a comment on the live show. You can ask to join the show. Also, you can leave us a voice note on the same number, +44 78285000938. Please leave us a voice note. What can you see in a potential daughter or son-in-law that could be a deal breaker? and what can you see in a potential parents-in-law that open I will never come back here. That's what we are talking about tonight. How should I behave meeting my potential parents-in-law for the first time? How should I behave as parents-in-law to my potential daughter-in-law, son-in-law? That's what we're talking about tonight. Now let me read comments. Mommy Ashamu has been saying, Mommy Ashamu has been saying a lot of things, and I don't want to miss any of her comments. Very important comments she's been making. She said, when you got a potential in-law, you have gone far. When you meet them for the first time, please be hospitable and open to listen. Thank you, ma. This is coming from Mide, and I love the fact that we have a person of marriageable age on this show. Mide is a young potential bride by the grace of God, which we are all going to buy her show be on her wedding. She says, be yourself in everything. Don't change who you are. It's good to be yourself. Don't change who you are. Do not pretend. That can lead to a lot of times from the teachings we are receiving nowadays. They're almost teaching people to pretend, which is not good. Also, Sekina Tella, thank you for joining. Hey, Sisi Alaye, yeah. JG, thank you for joining us. Said, Mama Toya Shamu said, my parents never met my husband before I married him, but they did their due diligence. I would like to know more about that, Mommy. How can your parents not meet your husband before you marry? What happened? Were you living separately? Were you living in different countries? When you say they did their due diligence, please tell us more. We want to learn. Or Mommy, please leave us a voice note. We'd like to play it so that other people can learn on this show. Somebody said, you can't relax. I was pregnant before they start talking, so I assumed agreement before it came. Okay, maybe that's why. Mommy Joanna, look, hey, she said you look beautiful as usual. Thank you, Mommy. God bless you, ma. Let me keep reading comments. Olori Adeola Mokadara, thank you for joining. Yeti ID, thank you for joining. Kike Cocktails, thank you so much for joining us. Please remember that on this show, this is a how do we call it now? It's a give and take. We don't just come here and watch, we talk. We leave our comments, we leave our own opinion about the topic on ground. So if you did not hear the topic again, I'm going to repeat it. This topic is talking to potential mothers and fathers-in-law, potential parents-in-law and potential daughters and sons-in-law. What are your expectations when you meet your son or daughter-in-law for the first time? Yes, Mommy! Yay! It's an interactive show. Thank you, Mommy Tonya Ashamu. Thank God I have some mommies on this show that are always coming to my rescue. Yes, it's an interactive show. That's what I was looking for. What's Salo? Thank you for reminding me, Mommy. This show is about an interactive show where I'm not the only one doing the talking. As I always say to us, look, my note is almost full. I always come to this show with my note, pen, and paper because I always learn. Mommy Adele is laughing at me because I always learn new things. Sometimes when I bring up these topics, what I have at the back of my mind when I bring the topic is totally different from what I will go away with. Because people are bringing their ideas in and I'm learning a lot. In fact, I always say to people, if not for ETO IGBEYAWO, who knows, maybe I would have divorced by now. Because a lot of things that I thought was wrong, when I bring it here and people talk about their experience and people share things, it helps us to also get better and improve. Now tonight, please, if you have an idea or you have an experience, what's your experience when you met your parents-in-law for the first time? I love the fact that Mommy Adilo Goose talk about a lot of things. Mommy Joanna Luko, thank you, ma. She's also on Facebook. It's Trophy of Grace. It's on YouTube. People are on YouTube. People are on Facebook. You can watch us on all these three platforms. On YouTube, we are on Make the Royals TV. And also, you can see us on Facebook on ETO IGBEYAWO with Bumi Make the Royals. And also you can watch us on Instagram, of course, ETO IGBEYAWO, or you come to Meet the Royals. Please, we would like to hear your opinion. We would like to learn from you, because these things are so token of love. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. N Square Catering, thank you so much for joining us. I am _Prissy. Sorry, pardon me if I mistakenly call your name wrongly. Thank you so much for joining us. Becky Ewaremo, hey, thank you for joining us. Tioluwato Fumi, I love that name. Thank you so much for joining us. So, for those that just joined us, I will repeat again. The topic tonight is, what do you expect from your potential sons and daughters-in-law when they're visiting you for the first time? What are deal breakers for you as a parent when you're meeting your potential daughters and sons-in-law for the first time? What would be a deal breaker for you as well as a potential daughter-in-law? Say, this is the kind of mother you have. This is the kind of home you come from. Me, I'm not coming back here. What are those things that could happen that would discourage you or that would encourage you? And mommy, I mean, it's Trophy of Grace is on YouTube. She said, due diligence. You can find out more about someone by viewing their social media pages. Hey, that's another way. Hey, let me see this one. I have to read this. What happened? The message has disappeared. Yeah. He said you can also find out about the prospective family in-laws. What kind of family are they? Thank you so much. Thank you, Becky. She said, thank you, Lotu, for my gifts. Abusi Edumare. Amen. Thank you. Mommy said we lived abroad. Okay, mommy lived and I met and married within a year. Wow, amazing. That's another thing that we're probably going to talk about sometime later. We've talked about it before in the past. How long should one date before getting married? But that one will be another topic. We've done it before, but we're going to bring that back. Hey, Yawo Baba is here. Hey. Thanks so much for joining us, sis. So, what would be a deal breaker for you meeting your daughter or son-in-law for the first time? What are those things that you'll see in the, or even if not meeting them for the first time, what are those things that you can see in a potential daughter and son-in-law? And that could be like, she will develop coribori, not go show you a mimi. I will not open my eyes down and allow talubo to enter inside it. Kokoro insect is what is called talubo. Or you say that as a daughter or son-in-law, me, I'm not coming back with this family. So this is the people, this is the family you come from, these are your people, this is the way they behave. I am never coming back here. Let's talk about it. Now I want to go back to when Mama Odele Ogun's called, the point that she made mention of that is really good, that we can learn from. He said sometimes you're not just seeing them for the first time. Some people like mommy Toya Shamo said that her husband didn't even get to meet her dad because they live separate, they live abroad. They probably live in the UK and the parents are in Nigeria. They didn't get to meet, but somehow they did their due diligence by making inquiries and finding out and checking and then doing their what's it called now, research on this person, investigation on this person, which is good. Now, things that Mama Odele Ogun mentioned, she said you must have been seeing them together. It's possible. In some cases, you must have been seeing them together. Let me read this. Becky Ewalemo says, speaking about potential daughters-in-law, I met my son's girlfriend today and at his uni graduation today. Trust me, I asked her all manners of questions. Thankfully, she's a Christian and Africa. Mommy, what would you have done if it was otherwise? Mommy John Olukon said, first impression definitely sometimes matter. Just be nice and be yourself. The questions are hot. Hey, John. Now, talking about questions, what kind of questions can you ask your potential daughter-in-law for the first time, meeting them for the first time? Let's give ourselves ideas. While we are coming up with those questions, what kind of question can I ask my potential daughter-in-law if I'm meeting them for the first time? What kind of question can I ask them? She wasn't badly dressed. I like her. Oh, hey, yeah, we are practicing already. You did interview for her. There are some people that can be a deal breaker as well. But it depends on the way you say it. Somebody said, I heard of a daughter-in-law to be who visited their in-laws to be almost naked, inappropriate dressing. The parents, kilo man shaking you to be. Okay. She said the parents didn't say anything, but it was a sibling that raised their brows. Okay, you're visiting. Oh, that's part of deal breakers. Number one, inappropriate dressing. Inappropriate dressing. Deal breaker. Interview. Okay, yeah. You interview me. You did interview me. Mommy, you asked so many questions. Now, the only thing that would concern me would be to make sure my child is protected in the potential family. Thank you, ma'am. Then, another thing that Mama did is you need to relax. Mommies and daddies, we need to relax. African parents can be so strict sometimes. African parents can actually scare people away with our attitude sometimes. But I think we are learning more now. But some people are still like that. We need to relax. The word relax is very, very important. And first time, you may not be able to gather all the information about this person the first time. You don't know what person has been through. So you need to relax. Not that We need to relax. We need to relax and take time to study them. Don't be on the edge. Sometimes we're already on the edge. Maybe my son tells me that, Mom, I'm bringing in my girlfriend today to meet her. I'm already looking for 1 minute and 1 things that I'm going to say against that child. It's not fair. We should be relaxed. We should take the Mommy Joanna Luke says respect also matters. Okay, talking in terms of respect. Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní báyìí là ń ṣe lé wa, wọ́n ní èèwọ̀ bòmíì ni. This respect of a thing is a deal. It depends on the person that your child is bringing up, and of course, respect. They said it differs from country to country. It differs from race to race. It differs from culture to culture. There are some cultures that tobakunle kiwon arifini. Trust me. And there are some cultures that you cannot stand up or shake hands with them. So we really have to balance it up in that area, because sometimes we use our own yardstick to judge everybody, which we have to be careful. Let me read what your Baba said. Your Baba said, you don't want to ask me when I was introduced to a Korean guy. Please don't ask me. Mommy. How many times did I call you? A Korean guy. What is wrong with a Korean guy? That's another thing. That's another thing about race, about culture, about tradition. That's another thing. Sometimes we kind of react. King's Decor event planner. I hope I'll be able to accept this person in Jesus. Instagram, don't do this to me. It's not letting me bring you in. Do you want me to can you come out, King's Decor event planner? Can you come out? Then I will send you the request. I don't know why it's not letting me accept you for some weird reasons. It's saying you cannot join. So King's Decor, if you can please come out, then I would send you the I will send you the invites. It's not King. You know, got to change Instagram then Gemetai. Please just come out, sis, and then I don't know if you're a man or woman. Please go out and I will bring you back in. I will send an invite to you. Thank you. Now, let me. Oh, I think you're in. No, are you? No, he's not. Oh, kilo dating Instagram, Shibai. No, he's not letting me bring her in. He's not letting me bring her in. Okay. I have a daughter who I consider a good girl. I'm looking for a young man with a job and plans for his life. Amen. With potentials, with a faith. Mommy, let's talk after the service. Mommy Susanalaga, thank you for joining us. You will have to find out about how to greet your in-laws. Okay, that's another thing. We have to find out about how to greet your in-laws. And that would help us. Okay, of course, when you are going to visit your in-laws for the first time, you have to find out. That's another thing you need to do. You have to do your homework. Do your homework as a potential daughter of salt. What do they cast a blessing and all of that? Now let's talk about all those things that is likely to kind of. Somebody said never visit without taking a gift. Is that true? Your parents-in-law great. What do they count as a gift with me for the first time when I'm going to greet my parents-in-law? Mama Yashamu said eyes be sense. I hope I said that well. I just want to know that she's got their heart together and knows what she's doing. Thank you so much. Well, we are all different, you know. You just want to know whether she has got their acts together and know what they are doing. That's all that matters too, as this person is concerned. Somebody said yes, it's not good to go empty-handed. Okay. It's good to go with a gift. Now, let's talk about what to do and what never to do. Let's talk about it. We talk about don't pretend. We talk about be yourself. Or sometimes a little bit of extra effort would help. For instance, I'm going and I'm like, well, be myself, I give to you. I just want to be myself. And you're going to greet your your parents, for the first time I just went. You might just make a little bit of effort and just buy something. Just, it doesn't have to be something big deal. Then we've said that parents also should relax. Don't interview them. Don't put them in a tough, in a difficult position. Don't put them in a tight corner where you make them be uncomfortable. And also, we also talked about no pretense, be yourself. Mama Adele did mention something when she visited her aunt-in-law to be. I'm sure that was some long time ago. And back then, they used to be a lot more strict than it is right nowadays. And she said they gave her food and she ate and she didn't even think she needed to. An innocent mistake. Another thing is the kind of lessons we give our children. It does affect them. For example, when Adele said when she was growing up, her parents had said that they don't like somebody visiting them for the first time and jump into their kitchen. They will count it as being forward. They will count it as being forward. And so because of that, she had that at the back of her mind. And she didn't want to go into their kitchen. She even finished it and said, abolosi kitchen sin. Come on, Lonnie mo be. Come on, Lonnie mo forward. Imagine that innocent mistake. And that alone could be a deal breaker for some people. Hey, everybody. Omuya wale for the first time. Ojo ko jeun. You know, that's why there's a saying that the way we behave in our house, in our family, it could be an abomination in other people's family. We have to take time to tolerate people, take time to study them, get to know them without jumping to conclusion. Now, Fabulous Funky said, lesson here for a potential sister and brother and auntie-in-laws. Yeah, so we need to be careful. Yeah, they will call the person a bebelube. You know, there's some things in my house that my daughter would do and I'll be like, did you just do that? And some people, they don't mind. It's a big deal. They don't mind. Like, for example, my husband's family, everybody is Sammy, Madame. I know you remember my family that is there. Everybody, they call themselves brother, uncle, auntie me, Sammy, Madame. But even people that are just like 5-6 months older, they don't mention their names. But we address ourselves by our first names. And now you're going to your potential in-laws house and you find your maybe your husband to be his younger brother and you mention their name and they start seeing you as Asha. You know they are not being fair because from where you're coming from, it's not a big deal. So that's why I said take time to study. And it doesn't make that person Asha. It doesn't make the person rude. It doesn't make the person doesn't have respect. You know, for those that are just joining us, tonight we're talking about what to expect from your potential son or daughter-in-law as a parent-in-law. And also, what could be a big deal breaker, you know, for you as parent-in-law when you meet your potential son or daughter-in-law for the first time. And also, what can you do to me as a parent that will be a deal breaker? I'll be like, I will never come to that your house again. I'm not marrying you again. Your parents are so mean. Your family they're not nice at all. What could be a deal breaker? That's what we're talking about tonight. We've talked about so many things. If you just join us, it will be nice for you to watch this from the beginning. Now, I was asking us earlier, please, can we bring that up, please? Please, let's bring it up. What are the kind of questions you can ask for the first time? One of the parents that spoke here tonight said she met her son's girlfriend for the first time today when she went for his graduation, and she said she asked her loads and loads of questions. You know that some people that could be a deal breaker, but that also depends on how you ask. Are you asking in a friendly way or you're putting them like you are in a panel? And yeah, what do you know, that kind of thing? The way you ask as well, you ask in a nice and friendly way. Hey, chemostic is here, people. So it depends on the way you ask. Yeah. Now let's ask, what are the questions that we can ask potential daughters and sons-in-law when we meet them for the first time? And what are the things when they bring them home? Like, okay, son just told me, mom, what do you do? Yeah, you can ask them, what do you do for a living and stuff like that. If you don't know before, please, let's bring it on board, especially those of us that already have children that are married. Let us learn from you. What are the kind of questions we can ask? What do you do for a living? We can ask them that, where are you from and stuff like that. So let's bring it on board. I want us to learn tonight. I want it to be that this particular episode of ETO IGBEYAWO, we can refer people that are about to get married to go and watch it and they will learn something from it. What are the things that we can ask people? You can also leave us a voice note on +447828500938. What are the questions that we can ask them? How can I actually get myself familiarize myself with them? Then one thing that mommy also said earlier is that sometimes we don't have to judge people by their first appearance. Sometimes we give them time to kind of to be able to actually discover the kind of people they are. don't just conclude by one mistake or one error. We need to think about that. We can ask them questions like, your name, where are you from, what do you do, what your parents do, where your parents from, and stuff like that. Yeah, really, on the first meeting, it's time to get to know each other. Thank you, ma'am. And getting to know each other obviously will mean to be asking a lot of questions, and the way we ask the questions does matter. Mommy Ayodele says, I do more of observation, and we bring up random topics, maybe for TV, watch their reactions and etc. That's another way that you can discover things, not necessarily throwing questions at them and making them feel like, oh, that kind of thing. Sometimes we say, oh, how are you? Where are you from? Where's your daddy from? What do you do for a living? What does your father do for a living? Also stuff like that. Somebody says first impression sometimes does matters a lot. Yes, ma'am. They said respect also matters. Not with the attitude. Yes. You can ask question not with the attitude. I love what Mama Yodele said. Bring up a random topic, that's oh God. Thank God, Sha. When I visited one of my aunties in law before I got married, the first thing she said to me, oh my God, you want my God, your mommy lucky. I felt totally embarrassed, because I'm slightly taller than my husband. That was the only thing that woman could see on that day. And I was like, excuse me. I mean, I don't even know. When you want to go and visit a man, you shouldn't be nervous. You should feel comfortable. Someone King's Decor says, she said old school. King's Decor event planner, can you just exit? Let me send you another invite to join. Because you're not, that's why I've not been able to. I don't know why this thing is not accepting your invite. Now she says observation and body language as well. It does matters a lot. We can observe people without necessarily making them feel bad. And sometimes I want to emphasize on this issue of bayila shinlewa meaning. Sometimes people's upbringing differ. It doesn't necessarily mean they are bad. People, and then there's a saying in my language that ikunle ki ṣe ìwà. Sometimes we make people pretend. They will not kneel down, they will watch, they will not become Yahuwah. She'll be trying to impress you, wash dishes, she'll do everything, and she will enter house and show you Shege Pro Max. That's one thing again that we need to bear in mind. Let people be natural. Make it easy for them to be natural. Make them accessible to you. Make them free. In fact, when they are free, that's when it is easy for you to be able to know who they are. Even my daughter's friends, her female friends, her friends that are just friends, I would observe them by giving them this freedom to come to my house. I've seen some that will come and be so free. When auntie, in this country they call everybody auntie, even when they are whether they are their mom's age or older than their mom, they call everybody auntie. Hey auntie, oh my auntie, what do you want? Auntie, what do you do for a living? Auntie, nobody because you want to be caring. But some will be so calm, they will ask questions. And I think most importantly, we need to pray. We need to pray. We've seen people that are quite, polite, very, very, what do I call it now? With good aptitude, and they still ended up being nasty when you marry them. In other words, what we've been saying since is that it goes both ways. In as much as your expectation about your potential daughter and son-in-law is very high, you should know that they also have high expectations about you as parents-in-law. You should know. So please, let's take our time. Let's make sure that we also, because I noticed that a lot of emphasis, especially in the Yoruba tradition, in African tradition generally, a lot of emphasis is on the woman. How about your own son? What about your son? When he goes to their house, what did he do? What did you do? Are you teaching your sons as well how to behave when they go there? And also your daughter, when your daughter-in-law comes, you condemn them. But what is a well brought up child? We should encourage people to be open. I love that. I love the fact that we should encourage people to be open. Don't make people pretend it is not good. And also we also said we should try as much as possible not to judge a book by its cover straight away. Obviously there are some things that I know. For example, indecent dressing. Oh, you cannot come to my house with your bum almost outside and you expect me to approve of you. I don't care how good you are or how innocent or how decent you are. If you're inappropriately dressed, I will not approve of that. I'll probably call your attention to it, and then talk about it. And we also talked about the way we can ask questions without making them feel uncomfortable. We can ask them questions without making them feel bad. We can talk to them without making them feel bad. We can ask them questions without necessarily embarrassing them or putting them in a very uncomfortable situation. I pray that God will help us though. It's so important. We need to kind of calm down. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, time no they give us so na time. Mama, they say my only thing is don't come to my house and call me by my name. It's never going to happen. That thing is very important to African parents. And I think one thing again that we need to let our children know is teach your spouse. For example, even my daughter's friends, she will tell them, please don't come to my house and call my mom by her first name. They are just friends. Don't call my mom by her first name. It doesn't happen in where we come from. Where we come from, it's absolutely unacceptable for you to address an elderly person by their first name. Not necessarily even would be parents-in-law. But there are some children that will come and call you, hello, Bumi, excuse me, where are you coming from? You don't call me by my first name. You address me either Mrs. Oshibere or you call me your auntie or something like that. They can mostly say, please, I have a question. After all these observations and I happen to not like the person, how do I know? How do I now present it to my daughter or son? How easy will it be to cut off the relationship? Now, it has to depend on your reason for not liking the person. Please, people, let's respond to this. What's your reason for not liking the person? I've seen where somebody will say, you know what, I don't really like that your girlfriend do. And the child will be wise. You say, I just don't like her. Mommy, why? I just don't like her. That's not a good enough excuse as far as I'm concerned. You have to have a good reason for not, and you have to have a way of letting that child know. You don't slam it in their faces, or you kind of divert their attention to see that thing that you see that they probably not see. You know when people are in love they said is blind, but marriage is an eye opener. So obviously you would, you see, mommy, one day I told my daughter immediately that I don't like a Korean. The only reason mommy doesn't like is because he's Korean. I'm not sure about that. What happens if they are from different race or culture or tradition? Let me listen to this voice note. Let me go voice note to you.
Hello, my problema wetu.
Yes, ma'am.
Olúwa túbọ̀ máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Àmín, ma'am.
Bàrẹ̀ ṣe ń wá lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí à ń lẹ́ẹ̀ náà ní para wa. And Olúwa dẹ̀ máa fún wa ní ọgbọ́n òye àti ìmọ̀ bá ṣe máa tó lé wa. Lórúkọ Jésù. Lórí mímọ̀ ṣe kàn sí àfọlọ́run bá. Ọ̀rọ̀ wa rí wípé tí ètò tèmi yìí ó kan àwọn tá a ti jẹ́ mọ́dá ìlọ ó kàn wá gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n tá a bá dẹ̀ rí pé àní dá sí wípé ó máa dàbí pé àṣẹ dáadáa tó bí because gbogbo wa náà máa ń kọ́gbọ́n lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rọ wa. So ní ìhà tèmi ní tèmi ó dìpẹ́ lórí family àwọn parent ìlọ gangan fúnra wọn. Wọ́n mọ ọmọ wọn in and out. Wọ́n mọ̀ bóyá pé ọmọ yìí because àwọn ọmọ mi wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn parents gan máa pé wo àyàwó tó bá máa fẹ́ amúra rí ọkọ tó bá máa fẹ́ amúra rí. So irú àwọn parents bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó bá tẹ̀ wọ́n wípé èyí gangan lè handle kìíní and parents tó dẹ̀ ti mójútó ọmọ tiẹ̀ bóyá lọ́kùnrin bóyá lóbìnrin tí ẹ wá expect much more tẹ̀lẹ̀ tí wọ́n pé ọmọ yìí pé kí ni wípé ó máa múra rí tẹ̀ wá embarrass onítàn èmi ò fi pé ó dáa tó. So family wípé ìgbà tí ọmọ tèmi tó ń kọ̀ tí ìyàwó ẹ̀ the first time tí mo kọ́kọ́ rí mo sọ fún mi pé mo ní tí ọ̀rọ̀ yín bá wọ̀ tó bá lead to marriage o wípé I want to take you as my daughter not as a daughter-in-law so and I want you to take me as your mother not mother-in-law so tá a bá ti wò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni so mo mọ̀ yín pé kì í ṣe gbogbo nǹkan I have one daughter just only one daughter and I have two boys so mo mọ̀ yín pé kì í ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí n bá sọ náà ni daughter mi máa agree ìgbà mi èmi àti ẹ̀ máa ń jà so I will not expect wípé gbogbo nǹkan tí n bá sọ fún òun náà ló máa agree lórí mi ò lè ní expect wípé gbogbo nǹkan tí òun náà bá sọ òun náà ló máa wá in line of but ẹ jẹ́ kí I understand ara wa so ó ti mọ tó àti ní understanding yẹn so tó bá ti tó mo ti mọ tó bá ti rọ pé kí ni wọ́n sọ pé náà kìnìkan máa sọ ó ti mọ̀ pé tó bá fẹ́ bring idea kan wá ó mọ bó ṣe máa present ẹ̀ fún mi tẹ́mi náà bá fẹ́ bring idea kan tá a bá ti rí pé nǹkan tí mo sọ yìí ó ti bínú mo ti mọ action mo ti mọ bó ṣe máa react máa ní okay you know what let's do that let's do this or what do you think so if you take her or him as your son or as your daughter it goes a long way so a ti fi ìyẹn sílẹ̀ níbẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ then another thing tí mo dẹ̀ tún máa sọ fún mi wípé in this family we respect God is our first thing so you have to because I don't think there's a very big because you are not married her parents so regardless of the background that she's coming from matter we base our policy and everything in this our house according to God's law, and we follow God's principle in this house. And we try as much as possible to make sure that, we plan our future. Not that we just, we just tell her, make her to understand that these are the things in our, and we appreciate culture in our. For example, now, Baba Doko community, Baba Doko, and Toba Wali, Toba no, ọkọ mi tó bá jẹ́ pé ọmọ bóyá even àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ kan kó má ti jẹ́ pé in-law daughter in-law or son-in-law tó bá náwó sọ́kọ ọkọ mi máa sọ fún mi pé no, in this home ọ̀pọ̀ mi ò kí ń gba owó lọ́wọ́. My husband just tell am because it's very very blunt, so he's a very cultured man. So èmi máa gba gbogbo wa níyànjú wípé especially as mothers ẹ jẹ́ kí a try láti ṣàlàyé fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn ká lè wo so all depend lórí family náà and such, but experience èmi nìyẹn tí mo lè sọ in nutshell. Ẹ ṣé gan, God bless you.
Wow.
Olúwa máa fún wa ní wisdom àti knowledge tá a fi máa gbà wa níyànjú lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ ṣé gan olóòtú.
Amen. Whoa, that's coming from Mommy Susanna Laga. I love all her points. One thing that she said that I'm going to lay emphasis on is if care is not taken, you will lose your child to that person. She said something that when your child is getting angry, just calm down until he or she gets to understand what you're saying. If care is not taken, you will lose your child to that person. Be like, you know what, mom, forget it. I'm just going to mind this person, and that's it. If you don't want it, that's your problem. We have to be careful, and we have to let them, and then you have to be telling them from day one. Let your child also know your policies. Let them know what your family stand for. Let them know what your family believe. So that even when they start seeing that thing in that person's self, they will have been warning the person, but please, when you come to my house, don't come and do this. So yeah, Baba said prayer is key. Prayer is absolutely very, very important. Sometimes when we do it on agidi kind of level, like you're doing it, you're forcing it on them, you're likely to lose your child. Almost, you know what? If that's it, mommy, just leave me. That's what I want to do. Prayer is a lot important. Mommy Ayole is asking. She's asking what can we do to disengage? What can you do? And I think she was asking mommy, time dirty low, dear. So we need to find out what exactly we can do to help to disengage our child. But that's my next question. What can we do to disengage our child when we find out that they are in the wrong situation, or if our child comes home to tell us things about the potential parents-in-law, and we can sense as parents that she family the fellow has seen in Jesus. How can we kind of discourage our child from going in there? Because children of nowadays, they are totally different from us. Let's if we disengage on what about the wrong hand without losing our child, without unnecessarily causing hate, because I've seen it's better to have a broken engagement than to have a broken marriage. And Yorùbá dẹ̀ sọ wípé olójú ò gbọdọ̀ lajú ẹlẹ́ kí kàlùbọ̀ kó sí. What can we do? How can we help our child to not get entangled in such relationship? Somebody said àdúrà nìkan ló lè ṣe. Àdúrà is very important, and also we can kind of be passing the message across to them in a subtle way. Mommy Toya Shamu says you pray against it, but also start talking about why you see it's not working, that the person is not right for them. No, my daughter was saying to me someday about somebody, and she said, "Mommy, but she's also human being. Human being. She want to know that savior to fellow savior." Sometimes these children, they are so they have so much empathy, because sometimes it's not even about behavior, it's not about character of the child itself, it's about the background on the home is coming from. I know someone that their child, the child brought a lady home. The lady is nice, but the family she comes from, the family are very rough, but the girl is nice, So the parents were like, you can't issue me, but I won't be only that kind of thing. Although the child is good, what do you do in that kind of situation? Because when you put buruku shefe and buruku ni o shefe, kono ma je kan mo wa shesegbe, kan wa ma shishe. Now, I really want us to clearly discuss this topic and make it work. I don't know how many of us think that we should just round it up here, or you think that we should talk more about it, because I'm curious about how we can disengage our children from that kind of situation. What can we do? How can we help our child to not entangle? Children of nowadays, some of them, they marry out of pity, they go into the relationship out of pity, they just say, what can we do? How can we help our children to not get into the wrong hand? And of course, as parents as well, how can we not be a problem to our children? Like, for example, the example I mentioned earlier about a family insisting that anybody to buy the banle, oh, ba bilano. People are still doing it today. Some people are still doing it today, that they will insist that anybody that you find in that family, once they've given back to that child before they marry you, I don't know how many marriages that has destroyed. That thing I went through it was really tough. So I'm not going to lie, some people are still like that. So how do we disengage our children if we can tell that they are going into wrong relationship? Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ ní ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀, ó máa ń wuni ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu. Honestly, lórí ètò yìí ó máa ń wuni gan pé ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu. Àmọ́ òun fana fún òun gbà fún wa. Ọlọ́run o. Somebody said I called my daughter and explained things to her properly, and we also played with her, and it's settled today. Thank God for that. I've discussed before about interracial, intercultural marriage as an issue. How? I don't know. Would that be a thing? Would that be an issue? Now, let me read this. There's so many comments coming up now. Oh, God, and we're about to round up. A lot of times, young people can't see what you see, Benny. Sometimes we see things we need to explain. Till tomorrow, my mother didn't let me marry someone. I don't know why, but I never married him. Yeah. Come on, now, somebody said prayer does work. Yes, we need to pray. We need to be praying for them, not even when they bring somebody home. We pray that our children will not fall into wrong family, boy or girl. Again, we need to talk about it with our children by telling them about experiences that we have witnessed from other people. There's a lot of things that has to do with this thing that we're talking about. It's so important that our children will make the right decision. Now, talking about the issue of race, culture, tradition, I would always refer to this case of two siblings that I happen to do their traditional wedding compare. One married in Nigeria, the other one married another. I don't want to mention so that the person may be watching. And the one that married from their tribe, go. In fact, it didn't last 6 months because Uber is manifest like you don't even believe 6 months. But the one that married from a tribe, the list that our people want to marry from, one baby anybody till today they are doing very well. They are doing so well, So sometimes we don't even know. Is it hey Yami Tush, thank you for joining. Dollar Posh says thank you so much for joining. So it's not about race, it's not about culture, it's not about tradition, it's not about where they come from. It's about being the right person and meeting the right person. So sometimes I pray that we will not mislead our children. That thing is very dicey, it's a very dicey one. So people, I'm just going to round up. If you're joining us, please watch this, especially if you are a potential mother or in-law to be, your children are getting to marriageable age. Please watch this show, because what we're talking about tonight is about things that could be a deal breaker as parents-in-law. When you see your potential daughter or son-in-law, what could be a deal breaker that you will see and be like, no, this one cannot marry my child? What could be a deal breaker to you? And also, we're talking about what could be a deal breaker to you as a person. For example, as a daughter, if I visit you as a potential mother-in-law, what could be a deal breaker? What is that thing that could make me abandon that relationship? Just because of what you do to me as a parent. That's what we've been talking about tonight. I will be nice, because we are all getting to that stage now, whether we believe it or not. We are the next generations of bride's mom and groom's mom. We are getting there. And I know why they could show you and we will Jesus. In Koti, to bad job, it will not be the reason our children will make mistake in Jesus' name. Our children will not fall into error because it's tough. I pray that Lord will help us. Ẹgbẹ́ bó ṣe máa sọ lọ́sẹ̀ tó máa ń ní ká jẹ̀rọ pẹ́ lẹ́nu. Àmọ́ ọ̀fọ̀ àwọn fún kì í gbà fún wa. Tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó ti jẹ́ ká tuntun gbé ètò ilé ìta gbélé lálẹ́. I want to use the opportunity to thank everybody for your beautiful contribution, meaningful contribution. And also want to appreciate the amazing people that are sponsoring us. Colors, Dress and Laces, and Lizelle Fabrics, Celebration International Magazine, and Royal Vogue, and of course the amazing First Rate Global from Nigeria. We really do appreciate you. I need to buy a lórí ètò lọ́sẹ̀ yìí. Ó tún dọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Àmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ fún wa ní ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ wípé lílọ ni èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù ni mo tún ti ń lọ yìí. Ogun ó lọ kò dé, kò ní bá mi. Ogun ó dé kò bá wọn, kò ní dé bá yín. ayọ̀ ìdùnnú àti àlàáfíà tí mo fi yín sílẹ̀ ní òun náà ni màá tún padà wá bá yín lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n fàsìkò yìí sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o, mo ní láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o, ẹ̀yin ò ní forígun èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ o, mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kó ní forí sọ̀gì o, láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé, láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí after party Chima and Davido after this, so meet us at the after party, people. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you.
Traditional wedding. Gbogbo lólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ fún etí rẹ̀ èmi. Best of traditional wedding. Ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi many things away. Best of traditional wedding.
Thank you, it's Trophy of Grace.
Lórúkọ ètò náà. Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó bọ̀ ní lọ́kàn. Best of traditional wedding.
Ṣé ti gbọ́?
Ètò lẹ́tọ̀ traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó bọ̀ ní lọ́kàn. Best of traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye. Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye.
Best of traditional wedding. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you. Bye.